This video is the second one of the 7-part video series on the basic shapes in wet felting. And this is what you're going to learn in this video. The step-by-step process to make a cord with wool tops. How to correctly cut a wool top. How to know the final thickness of the cord after shrinkage. How much soap and water to use. So stay tuned. Supplies and equipment. As I had already mentioned in the last video, you're going to need plastic to cover your work surface, bubble wrap, a wool top around 10 grams, soap. I'm using laundry bar soap. You can use whatever soap works for you, water and a towel. Now the next step is very important. It's better to work with a small piece of the top, so you'll need to cut it. But you never cut felting wool with scissors. This would leave you with an even cut, which would make it more difficult to work with. This is how you cut it instead. Hold the wool with both hands and keep them apart approximately 20 centimeters. Now pull gently but firmly. The wool separates in the middle. Wool shrinks when felted. So how do you know how thick your cord will be when it's finished? You do this. This gives you the approximate thickness of the felted cord after shrinkage. So separate your tufts. We're going to get 5 out of this piece of wool. Put aside what you're not using immediately to avoid getting it wet. Grab 2 pieces and join them. Be sure to overlap them in a way that gives you an even thickness. And in comes the soap. This is how I use it. I get my hands slightly wet and soapy. Don't use too much water and soap here if you don't want to make your life difficult. Start rubbing with a rolling movement on the place where the wool tufts overlap. The amount of water and soap should just be enough to avoid the wool from sticking onto your hands. Now join the next tuft and repeat. You can also do the rolling with both hands instead of on the bubble wrap. Repeat for all the tufts you have. Next, finish the ends properly. If you don't want them to be too thin, fold them and roll them with some more water and soap. Now it's time to roll the whole cord. The shrinkage will start now, so go on rolling on the bubble wrap to create friction. It's good to alternate the type of movement. You can roll the whole thing in your hand, for example. If you feel the wool has gotten too dry because of the friction, add some more water and soap. Now that the wool is fairly felted, your movements can become harder. You can use more pressure. See the thickness? Remember how thick it was when we twisted the wool at the beginning? It works, right? Okay, this looks ready. Check this out. Do you see how resistant it is? Isn't it incredible that it was made from soft wool? Now you just have to rinse it well and it's ready. You might be asking what you can do with a cord like this. Here are some ideas. Now this is a fine cord, but you can make a thicker one for a bag handle, for example. It's just as easy. So did you find that difficult? How are you planning to apply what you've learned? Do share in the comments below. In the next video, you'll see the difference of making a cord with wool bats. Until then, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.